Dr. Andrew's Psychology Secrets. "10 points How can I establish if my left or right brain hemisphere is dominant?" Handedness. People who are right-handed tend to have a dominant left hemisphere, while those who are left-handed tend to have a dominant right hemisphere. Language. The left hemisphere is responsible for language processing, so people with a dominant left hemisphere may have better verbal skills and be more comfortable with language-based tasks. Logic and analysis. The left hemisphere is responsible for logical and analytical thinking, so people with a dominant left hemisphere may be better at solving problems and understanding complex concepts. Spatial awareness and perception. The right hemisphere is responsible for spatial awareness and perception, so people with a dominant right hemisphere may be better at visualizing and manipulating shapes and objects. Emotion and creativity. The right hemisphere is associated with emotion and creativity, so people with a dominant right hemisphere may be more in tune with their emotions and have a greater ability to be creative. Musical ability. The right hemisphere is responsible for musical ability, so people with a dominant right hemisphere may have a greater ability to understand and appreciate music. Holistic thinking. The right hemisphere is associated with holistic thinking, so people with a dominant right hemisphere may be more intuitive and see the bigger picture. Pattern recognition. The right hemisphere is responsible for recognizing patterns, so people with a dominant right hemisphere may be better at recognizing patterns and making connections between seemingly unrelated pieces of information. Spatial memory. The right hemisphere is responsible for spatial memory, which means the ability to remember where things are located in space, for example, the layout of a building or the location of objects. Mathematical ability. The left hemisphere is responsible for mathematical abilities, including the ability to understand numbers, perform calculations, and understand mathematical concepts. Attention to detail. The left hemisphere is responsible for paying attention to detail, for example when reading, writing, or performing a task that requires precision. Sequential processing. The left hemisphere is responsible for processing information in a sequential manner, for example in reading, writing, or understanding a set of instructions. If you need help, please contact Dr. Andrew, dr.kuzmecki@gmail.com.